Alright guys, so what do we have? I hope you are doing fine. I'm doing too great, too good. So let's see what's the news for today. So we got false accusation, or let's say accusation, to blame the loss on something else. Could be right, could be wrong. We don't know. So, Censor's party's leader, Prashant Kishore, has alleged that the Bihar government diverted World Bank funds for cash transfer to women. How much fund do we get from World Bank to Bihar? No, I want the actual amount. Nowhere it says. What? This is dumb result. Anyway, coming back to the original news. Yeah, of course, Prashant Kishore did great work, and he lost. So one could assume that there was corruption involved, because he, I think, did a campaign on what is supposed to be the actual values what the voters should be concerned about. He took initiative. He said he has a list of like manifesto for all the things he's going to do, and I think he was very kind of like the Delhi elections, where Aam Aadmi Party's Arvind Kejriwal said he will take all these steps. But again, there's a difference here. Delhi's population is very highly educated. That we have to keep in mind. Education in the sense that they know what's good for them, and here or even I could say this, they're not as much as intelligent, because again they made AAP lose. So I could be I'm wrong there. Forgive me to say that. So here the allegation is that the Bihar government paid transferred money to women to pay to get the votes, I believe. As far as I remember, women were supposed to get 10,000 rupees to just set up some small industry business, you could say, or a little startup in a very smaller sense, like a homegrown industry like that. So this fund was supposed to be that, but then I think maybe it was used, maybe it was forwarded to many people, and then there's so much money going to so many women that maybe the woman compelled to vote for the Nitish government. Could be that, could be an allegation, but who is going to check? And again, I don't think, or maybe I could be wrong, if Prashant Kishore is going to be a different guy, because again he gave power, he helped people like many chief ministers to get in power multiple times. So yeah, I don't think he will be any different if he reaches there. But sure, yeah, he could take an honest path, which he took, but then he wasn't awarded not even a single seat. So it just puts you in perspective that this two-party system, and it's in the core of this of the Bihar state. So it's not going to get away from just simply campaigning. It's not limited to that. You have to actually put yourself on the ground and pay the voters to for you. You have to bribe them, help them, serve them the drinks, even though it's banned. There were so many ways to get the votes. So again, I'm not saying that whatever government has come in Bihar is wrong. No, I believe the lesser of the two evils policy. So whatever it is there is still going to do good than the other. And I don't think any good one that's going to come is going to make any difference, or it's not even going to survive there, as a matter of fact, because the core of the Bihar state is it's not very, like, this ground is not very suitable for new parties. You just can spawn and then you can get all the votes. So he has to lose. There was no doubt. In the past, also someone tried, and they, like, some person from Oxford, they learned, and they tried a campaign, they couldn't win. So you had a mathematician, Casey Sinha, is a very great mathematician, and he couldn't win. And there was someone who had some leak, some MMS kind of leak, and he had to believe he has won. So he just says a lot about the state of this government. But again, no matter who wins, I'm all for the lesser of the two evils. Who is more evil, the BJP or the upcoming government? So I will say BJP is evil, but then Congress is more evil. Who will you pick? Of course, the lesser one, because you don't have an ideal person who is going to, let's say, fight for the majority rights. Let's say fight for like how BJP pretends that they'll fight for Hindu rights, but I don't think there's any other party that's going to say the same thing. At least they are saying they are going to get vote for it. But in an ideal scenario, say that there's a party who actually does real work for the, let's say, the Hindus, then I think most of the votes will go to that party. Because again, whoever is lesser evil, they're going to win. That's about it. Alright, so coming to the other news, what do we have here? No, this family's a whole drama. Like, they need to have their own Netflix show, like how this all feuds happening. I don't know what's the cause, because they have a lot of money. Money shouldn't be a problem to this family. So I'm just trying to understand. I don't really read much what's happening with them. I just saw they are having, like, their feud is in public. They are having a disagreement in public. So I'm just thinking, money shouldn't be a problem. So why they are doing this in public? Either it's just they are stupid. Why would you want your family reputation to be ruined? So either they have to be stupid, they want serene over the family. Maybe this whoever this person, like what's name, Rohini Acharya, maybe she thinks maybe she is the elder daughter. I don't know. Maybe she wants some more major position in decision making in her family, and I believe the one of the son of Lalu Prasad is not allowing that. So I think he kicked out his brother first, and then this daughter. Well, that's the whole drama that's unfolding. The family had a very dark history, so whatever's coming to that family, I think, is probably a justice to the injustice they have done. And we could just hope for more. Now, like, coming back to the other news, what do we have here? Oh, we have another suspect in the Delhi blast. So So there's a guy that's caught as a suspect whose name is Amir Rashid Ali, a resident of Sambura, Pampur in Jammu and Kashmir, in whose name the car involved was registered from Delhi. Alright. A major breakthrough, okay. Well, we could just, I think whoever is involved, they're going to get caught. Our national security agency, they're doing a very great work. And, well, I believe these institutions, especially the security institution, are doing very great work. I don't have faith in other institution as much as I have faith in security and army, because they are real people. They're very talented. They are very hardworking. So they are going to catch these monsters. They are going to, and they are going to punish them, make them pay for what they did for killing 10 or how many people, 13, I believe it was, 13 souls that were lost. So these people are going to pay for it. Whoever did, no matter how educated, no matter where they're hiding, they're going to pay for it. They should. You should not be living silently for killing someone. Violence should never go unanswered. They need to be punished by law properly. I hope they are going to happen whenever. So this is a very great news coming out of Delhi blast probe. So we could just hang back to the other news. I'm not a very great fan of cricket, so, but we as a sport, I'm happy that it's we are winning. Except I wish that there's more sports we take part of, not just cricket. That's what I'm wishful for. We should be involving in more sports, not just one sport that's taking attention. Because we're 1 billion people, we need to be going in all directions. Alright, what do we have in the UK happening? Okay, so I think I heard this news. So Keir Starmer is setting new rules that is going to overhaul the existing migration. And it's coming to my mind, like, so he's announcing what? He's announcing the rules that you cannot apply, I believe, in very soon when you migrant, you cannot apply for citizenship for 10 years somewhere. So there's a minimum of years that he's going to put a place on that you cannot apply before that, and then you cannot. I think 30 months is like maximum you get for asylum. Then you have to leave like that. So usually Britain used to be a very migrant welcoming place. So again, whatever changes could it cause to change the rules. So this change is happening, but it comes to my mind that Keir Starmer is a liberal. So how could a liberal can do this? And there was a conservative government before Keir Starmer. So they had the majority in all places, and they couldn't come up with such rules. So it just comes to my mind that why, like, and it explains that why they lost in the 2024 elections, I believe he came in. But I think the reason Keir Starmer is doing that because the citizen is going against him. So they're not going to, I think there's a Reform Party. They're going to get together and vote with that party. Even in the most loyal liberals is going to vote for them because of what's happening in UK. So that's a very alarming to Keir Starmer, and he's taking all these changes in the immigration. But I believe it's too late for. But yeah, whatever good comes to that country. Yeah, that should happen. Alright, coming back to the other news. This is a controversial topic. I think the actual hidden meaning of this post here is related to some event that happened in Bhagalpur in 1990 somewhere, some year around that time, and he's relating the victory to the sorry about the pause. Yeah, he's relating to the victory for the victory in the Bihar elections to that incident, and saying that Bihar citizens has approved this. So this is a very indirect, very on the tone, like not very directly. So not a lot of people are happy about it. But again, he has a freedom of speech, and as absolute freedom of speech, I believe he can say, because people have said a lot of worse things. So I think he is in the right to say a lot of things, no matter what it is. So it's his right to say, no matter how hurtful it is. So it's just it's in our constitution. It's not fully given to us, but I believe it should be given, like how other countries are given. All right, coming to the other news. I think that's all I see in the top news, so we'll just check what's happening in the global. Keep working is this war is not ending. This is going on and on and on. People are dying over, children are dying over. It's just a very sad state of affairs. It's a very brutal war. This invasion itself should have never happened, but yeah, you have corruption to deal with. There's no surprise that Ukraine has corruption, and it was a corrupt country back then. So you have this whole shake-up related to energy. We'll just leave it there, because this is very messy right now. It's not being solved by Donald Trump. He wants this to be solved. It definitely can't be solved by me, even though it looks simple. So you have three deaths in the Istanbul hotel. 3 Germans. I think they were of what? They are of Turkish, so some of them are Turkish Germans. So maybe they have the holiday, enjoying holiday, and then they died under mysterious circumstance. I think the reasons could be they're still under investigation, but likely cause are suggesting that the food poison. That's very sad. The two little kids that died along the family, and the father, I think, is in a critical state. So this someone has to be held accountable for this incident. It's very sad news coming out of Istanbul. Just puts you in focus, like how can you go to any other place, or how can you trust what you're eating, right? This is because they're again tourists, and they just ate in one of the, let's say, street vendors. This is and there's a lot of background noise I'm getting. I think I'll have to end the stream. How much did I 20 minutes, right? So we'll just see what it tells us there a little bit. Oh, they have mass protesting. Can I put in now? So this is what I'm talking about. So there's corruption. There's a lot of people. There's so many, like this politician. They take turns to have this election, and they are elected. And basically, this is a chance to get rich. So this is happening in Philippines. So people are fed up seeing the rich. And who are these rich people? So these are politicians, businessmen linked to these politicians. They support these businesses to rise, and through corruption, through this money that they make, they take part in. And again, these all benefit the few people, not the common people. Very few people who are having a lot of luxury items, luxury in every form they get. But the common people whose hard money that's going towards these to what's supposed to be helping them. Like when you pay tax, you're supposed to be the roads to be built, the transport services to be there. You need to be protected. There needs to be a lot of things that's good. Your healthcare needs to be considered. You shouldn't be paying thousands of dollars to get the basic healthcare that you're supposed to get help by with your own money, because you're paying so much in taxes. So what happens? All this money gets embezzled by these few politicians, and then you have nothing left. So what's left now? When you there's no less jobs and there's so much corruption, so you get these protests. And who are these protesters? So I believe these protesters are not like a lot of old people, because old people, they get used to this. So these are mostly new generations. So if I read it correct, this should be very young generations or very educated people. They're going to get older in taking part in this, because again, younger people, they don't have much jobs, and they're seeing these, right? They have social media telling them these are very educated people, and or if not educated, they know what's the difference between right and wrong, and their minds, they see these things, they see it from themselves, they investigate, they see, and then they find out that these people on the power are lying to them, and so these protests happens. So my respects are to these people that want an actual change in the country. I wish something to be happen, because the constitution is stuff. But again, coming back to the point is that the corruption cannot just be ruled out with the protest. The constitution, the rules has to be made says that these things can be stopped. How it's done in China. It used to be most corrupt country, like not most, but there was corruption, a very high percent. So whoever got caught, they were served very hard punishment that the next person won't think to be corrupt. So these cannot just happen overnight through protests. I mean, you should protest, and maybe if there is possibility, you should have certain laws in the constitution that stops others to have. Maybe there should be a lot of checks and balances to be in place when these governments are there. So it's a long path, and I believe they find some way to incorporate these changes so there's less corruption involved, and people could be served. They could live a better life. So all these, but I think what's going to happen is this corrupt government is going to be placed by the next corrupt government, and people, unless the very strong will of the people prevails and the actual change takes place. Let's see. Alright, what do we have? Coming back to the Twitter. So I'll just refresh this thing and let's see what do we have. Now I gotta remove this trending one. This singer has made it to the government. Can you believe that? But again, it's the will of the people. You can't deny that. So you have a mathematician losing and the singer winning. I hope that's. But again, lots of the two evils. No matter how much I hate the government or disliked it or what I said, at the end of the day, I want them to be there because there's nobody else that's going to do a better job at this moment, at this time, other than these people, these dance people that seems very happy that the good days are ahead. All right. Let's see any other news we got here. What do you have? Elon Musk tweeting about there are people. Yeah, I think it's right that there's people.
License data center.
I don't want to play this thing to get a copyright strike. I'm not a fan of cricket, so. We have Mongol talking about, let's see if there is protest happening in Mexico, which is kind of refreshing.
Live, Mexico's democracy at risk. Wait, this is...
So again, the same thing is happening in Mexico. So you have these governments that's same Gen Z people as they're describing, the people born in after 1990 or somewhere. I could be wrong. So these are the same as I said with the Philippines issue. This is the Mexicans, and yeah, they're asking for this. I don't know if they're corrupt. I mean, I know the government. There's this lady that was the first female prime minister or something was there with her. But yeah, they're still, the Mexicans still don't like that. They're still protesting, the young people. I mean, the drug issue is still ongoing. So if the government can't find a way to fix the drugs, I don't know what they're doing then. Whoever is getting elected, what the fuck you're doing? If I haven't checked any trending, how do I check the trending topics on anything? Not the gaming. Is there any gaming? Alright, this idiot is gone to China and he got arrested. Not arrested, but like investigated. And he came up with the fact that he's not he's like fully able to enjoy his freedom like he's able to do in USA, but he's not going to talk about it because either he got a large sum of money from the Chinese government or to talk good things about them. But he surely wouldn't talking about how the bad freedom is in the USA or how bad it's in India, because this guy is definitely anti-Indian as well. He likes Pakistan. So I think he's the definition of hypocrite, because he does everything which he says to not to do, and he does this all in front of people, and then he also shocks the dog. And he somehow still has the platform. 2025 people. He still got the platform. He does all the bad things. And I don't think it would have been possible with the other people if they had done the same. But yeah, his ideology I think passes the vibe check of a certain community of his taste, who are supposedly in the power of Twitch. They're not gonna let him go. Alright, that's all for the news. I think I'll be ending now because 30 minutes max. I'm not getting paid. It's just me doing little little, little, I don't know, just venting out, or just the state of the world, or no, I don't know what it is at this point. It's just me talking. So whoever is going to or watching or going to watch in the future, please subscribe. It'll be helpful. Drop a like, share if you want, if you like it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.